This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
The views expressed on the following program do not necessarily match those of WPSL. However, I'll give you a clue. We are the ones who do encourage you to like and share them on social media and, of course, with all your friends, because it's the science and art of caring. Careology. Presented by hosted by Roxy. There she is.
Hi, Cliff. How you doing?
You come running in really good and
I
fast
know.
today.
That's what happened when I got up and started walking this morning, just on a roll. How was your Thanksgiving?
I need to write a book of how many different things you can do with leftover turkey between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Well, you know what? I think that book will sell because a lot of people are going to want to know what to do with all that turkey. So that's good.
Yeah, that's a lot of turkey.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Careology. It is another Tuesday, and welcome back. We are so happy to have you, and we hope all of you had a wonderful and safe Thanksgiving, and we're just very thankful and grateful. You know what we do here in Careology. We are thankful and grateful for life and blessings, so we hope you enjoyed your holiday, you enjoyed your time with your family, and you are getting ready to go back to the grind, which is very important. We are going to go right into our guest today, and we have Chief Deputy Hester from the St. Lucie Sheriff's Department. Did I say that correctly?
You did.
Oh.
You said it perfect.
Thank you so much. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, and
Well,
thank you so much for having me.
Oh, well, it is my pleasure. We were sitting up here catching up, and just so interesting and just amazing what happens at the Sheriff's Department. Some things I knew, but I didn't know to that extent, and it is amazing. So I want us to dive right into it. Please tell us who you are and let us how long have you been on the force with the Sheriff's Department? And go ahead, Chief Deputy Hester.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and it's always awesome to be able to share information about the Sheriff's Office. We're an extremely large organization, 800 employees, and we do a lot. We do a lot more than people tend to realize sometimes. But I've been with the Sheriff's Office now for 22 years.
Okay.
I've got 26 years in law enforcement. Started in 1995. Actually working on the 27th year.
Okay. Well, congratulations.
Thank you. But 22 years here. I came to the St. Louis County Sheriff's Office and started as a patrol deputy. Worked about everywhere that there is to work within the Sheriff's Office, and worked my way through the ranks, and now I'm the chief deputy.
Okay.
The sheriff has given me the privilege of being his chief deputy, and my responsibility is just to oversee the day-to-day operations of the entire Sheriff's Office, from the law enforcement side of the house, the administrative side, to the correction side of the house as well.
The jail side.
Yeah, the jail side.
Oh, okay. And what is the jail called here in Fort Pierce?
It's called the Rock.
The Rock. Okay, so.
That's what I hear on the scanners.
On the scanner, the Rock.
Oh,
So.
27 to the Rock is the code is on
So
the way?
I'm a New Yorker, so when we say the Rock, we're talking about Alcatraz.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
yeah,
but in
San
Fort
Francisco.
Pierce, we're just talking about the Rock.
We're talking about Rock Road. That's
Rock
where
Road.
it got its
Oh,
name.
so
It's
oh.
on Rock Road,
Oh, it's got
900
road-
North Rock Road.
Rock Road, okay.
And so it was given the name the Rock,
Rock.
because as an officer or deputy says, I'm
Heading
they
to
give
the
their
Rock.
codes to where they're going.
Yeah, the Rock.
It was always North Rock Road, where they just started saying the Rock.
And they caught on. I like that. Don't want to be there, but I like that. We gonna leave that. So tell us a little bit about the Rock. What's happening at the Rock?
Well, that's one of the things that we don't get a chance to talk about as much.
Well,
but
on Careology, we do.
Well, I'm glad, because I think it's important for our listeners, for everybody that's watching on Facebook, to know about some of the initiatives that we have going on at our jail. Just so you know, our average daily population this year is about 1,311 inmates.
Wow.
Okay? Very large.
Wow, that is large for the community that we live in.
It is. It's extremely large.
Unfortunately.
And it is unfortunate. And the interesting thing about 1,300 and some odd average daily population is over 1,000 of those inmates are still awaiting trial. They haven't been sentenced. They haven't been sentenced to county jail, but they're awaiting trial.
Is that because of the COVID?
Well,
the backlog?
Our numbers have always, we could probably do a whole nother radio show on why. We have a pretty high bond structure in this county. Okay. We also have an indigent population as well that can't afford even the smallest of bonds. And so we really take, we go above and beyond working with the state attorney, working with judges many times to look at inmates, how long they've been there, what they're charged with, what their bonds are, in an attempt to try and reduce that bond or get them signed out on their own recognizance. Because you have to realize that for every inmate that's in our county jail, it's about $90 a day to house them, to feed them, to provide them with medical.
We're paying a lot as taxpayers.
And the taxpayers are paying that bill. So in addition to that, we have contractual relationships to provide medical care. And then if the care's above and beyond what we can provide with our service,
the hospital,
then they have to go to the hospital, and that cost gets sent back to the taxpayers as well.
Taxpayers.
So the
I'm
goal
kind of
is
gonna
to
want y'all to release them. We have over 1,300. We need some released here. If I'm paying for you, I need you released. I need you to get yourself together.
They need to get bonded out.
Yeah.
They need to do the bond thing.
Well, we're going to do a show on that. He said something, and I already wrote it down. We're going to do it because I've heard that before. Bond for certain offenses are extremely high. But like you said, that's a whole nother show.
A $500 bond for one person is different than a $500 bond for another person in our community as well. So, that's something that we pay very close attention to daily, but really is out of our control as well. But we do try to work close with state attorney and with judges to catch cases where people are in there for longer periods of time than they should be for very minor crimes. And at one point in COVID, I don't want to get too far off topic, but at one point in COVID, we actually had a judge give the sheriff executive authority to make some releases based on his discretion. It was an emergency order type thing because of COVID, and we had outbreaks in the jail. And you can imagine.
I cannot.
An outbreak of COVID inside a confined facility. How dangerous that is.
I don't even want to think about it.
Dangerous and liability.
And the liability on that is actually crazy. So, but
let's talk about what we are doing out there. And I want everybody listening to know that we all know someone. We have a friend, a relative, a loved one, someone that has been arrested or had hard times in their life, and the people that are awaiting their sentencing, they're innocent till proven guilty.
That's true.
And so just because that you have to be arrested, you have to go in to a facility and you lose your freedom, doesn't mean you lose your dignity.
Your dignity.
Okay.
That's
and
true.
one of the things that we really are trying to do is to provide a place where we meet the criteria of what a corrections facility is supposed to be, but we also give our inmates dignity, and we also try to give them necessities and to give them opportunities.
Proper hygiene. That's what we do.
Proper hygiene, but things to do when they're doing time that occupies their minds and it betters them. And so let me give you a couple of examples. One of the things that after taking over as chief deputy, one of the things I realized really quick was, and I went and dove in. I went and lived out at that jail and walked around the jail, talking to inmates, talking to staff, and really just wanting to learn that operation, because that's one of the places I had not worked as much in my career. Okay. And so in doing so, I realized one day that when you come to our jail, you get one pair of underwear when you come in through the door. Okay? One pair of underwear, and then if you want more, you got to buy it with your canteen money. But when you're coming in and you're going through the booking process, that can take up to 7 to 10 days. Now, what am I going to do for 7 to 10 days in one pair of underwear?
Oh, what about if you have family that can't give you any money?
And what if you don't have family that can give you money? So one of the first things we did, I looked at items like that, deodorant, simple things that we didn't issue out right away, and that were basic human needs. And so I asked the director of the jail one day, I said, how much would it cost to provide underwear, multiple pairs of underwear to every inmate as they come through the door, where they don't have to worry about this? And they gave me, and it really wasn't
Pennies.
a lot of money.
No.
And so we, inmates coming through our door now get multiple pair of underwear. They get deodorant. They get other things. We've worked
and that
with.
doesn't that stop fights? That just stops a lot of stuff.
It stops. It relieves tensions. It makes them happier. And listen, when tensions aren't high inside a confined facility, things go much better for our staff.
I can imagine.
But we had to take a look. We partnered with churches and other organizations to put together care bags for inmates that came through the door. I call them care bags, but it's basic necessities.
Care bag. That's what we call it. We're on the Careology show, so go right ahead. It makes it sound even better. Go right ahead.
So another thing that we took a real hard look at is, what do you think now? If you were sitting out there, a basic necessity that we all need that makes us all happy. We just talked about it, right? Food. Okay.
Basic necessity.
So food is a necessity. And so one of the things we took a real hard look at was what were our inmates eating. And I would go out there and I would walk around. I'd look at the food trays. I would taste the food trays. I would eat the food that was in the food trays.
How was it?
Wasn't real tasty. And you know, some people would say, well, it doesn't matter. They're behind bars. They eat what they want.
Oh, it does matter.
It does matter.
It does matter.
And it matters, again, in many respects, from a dignity standpoint to also keeping tensions under control. So we looked at calorie count, how many calories they were getting a day. Long story short, at the end, we renegotiated our food contract with no cost to our taxpayers. We actually lowered our food contract and gave inmates 200 more calories a day and switched from a full soy-based diet to a poultry-based, which means they got chicken instead of soy. And we changed from using condiments like butter as calorie counts to using actual sustenance and filling trays up and food that was edible. And I'm not saying that our food service provider cooked unedible food, but they were going by what their contract was.
What was saying, right? Not going beyond just doing the bare necessities.
Right. The other thing we looked at was, okay, let's offer some other options to our inmates. Everyone knows you have canteens, so if you've got canteen money, then you can purchase extra things, whether it be chips or whatever the case may be. And one of the things that we started offering was what was called Fresh Favorites. And so through our Fresh Favorites, once a week, they have an option to order a cheeseburger or a chicken sandwich or chicken wings or something that definitely was not on the menu before, right?
Yeah.
So in doing so, it gives them something to look forward to. When we have March Madness or when we have the playoffs or big football games, we give them the option to order a pizza and a soda, and it makes a Saturday something to look forward to, and it gives them something to do that day and to eat something that they normally don't get.
They get to eat,
that
and
they're
not
only
only
gonna get
that,
outside.
You said it. Keep the tensions down and make the other deputies working in a safer environment.
Oh my goodness!
Because every day it's like someone just texted me and said there was not going off point, there was another school shooting in Detroit and 3 are dead. This is happening while I just got here. So everything that's happening all over the country, when we can keep that down, we keep our men in blue safe. One thing we talked about this show was when we had a lot going on, everyone was talking about defunding the police, and we had an officer come and we talked about what defunding the police really means, and to give people an idea, it's not just taking money away, it's taking services that we, the public, need. So how it might sound to you is not exactly what it is. So that's why I wanted to do the Law Enforcement Month, because I wanted to get different agencies to let people know this is how our money's being spent and this is what we're doing. So kudos for what's going on at the Rock. You have inmates, some might want to come back because of the good service.
We hope not, but
we hope not, but sometimes that might happen. But also, I'm a big believer in giving dignity. I have a lot of people that say to me, "Oh, they're homeless. You know, they didn't have to be homeless." When some people don't have families, when some people don't have families to help, things happen in life. There's a story behind every story, so that is good. But we also talked about something from the beginning when you came in about things you're doing in the community with our young people.
So let me finish one.
Sure,
thing
go
with,
right
with
ahead.
The
Go
jail
right
that I
ahead.
think is really important too is our visitation. Our visitation's back up and running.
Oh, okay.
So it's video visitation. We're working on a building for that, but right now we have tablets that inmates have.
Wow.
So our inmates can use their tablets to make phone calls. They can watch movies. They can listen to music. They can also do their visitation on their tablets with scheduled visitation.
Times. Okay.
We've gotten all our programs back up and running. Our faith programs, we have a program dorm that was just opened up. Our Journey Forward program and our reentry programs are all back up and running as well. So
do you do reentry with Diamond Liddy?
we do reentry with Diamond Liddy. Plus, we also do our own. If you're a trustee with us and you obtain a certificate, so you work as a trustee,
right.
Getting some sort of skill, we give you a certificate for that. And then we have a person that their sole responsibility is to contact second chance employers.
Okay.
And so if you're going to get
second
released,
chance on on Port St. Lucie Boulevard. There's one on Port St. Lucie Boulevard, or there's one in Fort Pierce.
There's a lot of employers all over.
All over.
We know will give someone who has a criminal history a chance.
A second chance.
And so we contact them directly and say, hey, we have this person that's getting out a week from now. They have this skill. Will you give them an opportunity? And we try to place people in jobs when they're leaving. And then in addition to that, we're working with another local medical provider to have a better treatment plan for opioid addiction as people are leaving our facility as well, because many times they're not in there long enough to get the full treatment, so they get out and they go right back to that crowd.
I know we have a major opioid crisis. I know Commissioner Linda Bartz has done a task force and is trying to, you know about the task force.
Yep.
Do you go to the meetings?
I do.
So that's where you.
That's where we've seen each other.
That's where
before.
we've been trying to sit here since 5:45 because I sit on that committee with.
I know this guy from somewhere.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I just
right.
because the meetings have kind of stopped in person because of COVID, but it's been we missed a year, so that's where it is. We missed a year, but that's a big thing. People don't understand the amount of deaths that we have because of
opioids.
Opioid.
That's about 2 shows we could talk about.
That's
probably.
That's a month. No. That's a month
is.
show. We've touched on it a little bit. We've had families that have been impacted personally come on, and we've talked about. That's something we talk about on this show. But continue.
So I think that really. We'll move on to our community engagement unit, I think, because you wanted to talk about that.
I'm excited
and I don't
about
want
that.
to cut the time on that.
No,
but
no.
I wanted to get that information out about our jail because people don't hear about that. And people listening, I know everyone knows someone that, at least a friend, a family member, somebody who's had to will be or has been in our jail. And we want you to know, we're going to treat them with dignity. We're going to treat them like they're a member.
So if I have any
of our
friend
family.
that happens to get arrested, at least I know you'll be taken care of.
We will take good care of them, I
Okay.
promise.
You don't have to call me.
I promise.
At
you.
all. I promise. Please don't call me. Clip is looking at me like, don't call me.
Well,
I know
I
the rock is
I have
being
to say
taken.
the same thing all the time. I've told my kids while they were growing up, if you get yourself in trouble, don't call me for help because I'm going to let you stay in there and learn something before you depart.
Well, they're going to learn
Maybe
a lot.
you won't go right back to what you were doing when you got in there. But then, of course, I lost a stepdaughter to the opioid situation, and we've had it as a topic on the show.
Yeah.
Many times. That's it.
It touches every family in this country.
Every community.
Nobody's immune to
Nobody's
that.
immune to it, which
No
is,
one.
like you said, that's a whole nother show. Well, we're glad to see the steps that happen. I'd love to have a walk around at the Rock. Can people
I'll
do
give you a
that?
walk around at the
All
Rock.
right, I'm going to go to the
You,
Rock.
know
you
somebody
won't just
now.
walk right in, though.
Oh, no.
There'll be a
no.
series of doors.
I'll feed you lunch as well. How about that?
I got to know what's on the menu.
I'll get you.
They've got a really nice Homemade meatloaf. That's the only way you can legally describe it.
I know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So-
I've been told so much about this. I was kind of curious.
You were trying to curious. You can come with me.
Okay.
You can come.
That's
with
only if you like to throw your food.
Me. Okay. If you only like to throw your food.
Well, I'm not a picky eater, and I know what good nutrition tastes like. I'm not offended by something might look bad, but if it doesn't taste bad, But then again, they're incarcerated. They can't pick what they want every day. Now they get some kind of a choice once in a while.
Well, they do get choices out of their canteen, but the menu's pretty we reviewed the menu. It's pretty mixed up from breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They don't eat the same thing every day, every day of the week. But you stay there more than a week, you're probably going to eat the same thing again. Trust
I know
me.
there's plenty of candy available.
But not only that, a lot of individuals don't have access to anyone that has come that is in a situation of they're being indigent. They might not have that 3 meals. They might not have that breakfast. They might not know where their lunch was coming from. They might have to hustle for dinner. So getting 3 meals a day for some is a nutrition, which is important.
Is it still a smoke-free facility?
Yes.
Oh, that's going to be the worst
facility.
part for the smokers.
Yeah.
The nicotine-fit city.
Don't get caught.
Yeah, there's no smoke.
Don't wind up at the Rock. There's no smoke.
I don't think there's any smoking.
Can't buy
any
cigarettes
jail.
there either. So.
Nope.
You can smoke cigarettes in jail? In some? No?
No, not here.
Not here.
Okay, there we go.
Can't do it.
We learned a lot today. That's why Careology is learning, giving resources. So if anyone got any information, we normally don't open our lines, but if anyone wants to, because Deputy Hester will not be long with us that long, but we're just going to open our lines. If anyone has a call, 772-340-1590. If you'd like to ask a question, and all your calls will be screened by Cliff. So we're putting that out there.
No filibustering.
No filibustering. That is correct. So let us know what's going on in the community, Chief Deputy Hester.
All right, great. Well, this is probably my favorite time of the year at the Sheriff's Office for our community engagement unit especially. So we created a unit 5 years ago. It was Crime Prevention Unit that, we basically changed the name 5 years ago and we call it now Community Engagement. And that was done because it was our goal to really be a part of the community that we serve. And not just a unit, as you and I were talking, 3 or 4 people that's what they do every day, but to actually get all of our men and women involved in the community that we work in and that we serve every day. And so this community engagement unit, they have many things throughout the year, but the goal is for us to provide opportunity for our members to serve their community, whether it be at one of your events, we partner with you, whether it be Habitat for Humanity, a local church, or whatever it is. But specifically, over the 5 years, we've created some phenomenal partnerships with our local, our homeowners groups and other organizations in the community. So during this time of year, we provide what we call our Christmas Families programs. 5 years ago, it started out very small with about 1,000, kids and families that we serve. And a lot of those were selected. As you know, we have 65 deputies in 50 schools in our county, okay? So we ask our school resource deputies to identify kids or families that might be in need. And that's kind of where part of this started.
Comes in.
And we would provide their families with gifts and other things during the Christmas holiday season that they might be in need of, meals and so forth. And that has just steadily grown over the last 5 years, where this year we expect to serve over 6,000 families and kids.
That is amazing, Cliff. Over 6,000 families and kids. That's a lot.
And that is not we're sort of a pass-through as the Sheriff's Office helping serve those families and organize it, but it's really our community is serving our community. Our donations of toys, money, other meals and different things all comes from the community. From your Spanish Lakes, your Savannah Clubs, Tropical Isles, Nettles Island. These homeowners groups get together and they raise funds, they collect toys, and then in turn they set us up with those things and we provide them through Santa Cop, Shop with a Cop, all the different programs that we have. And then, of course, we always, if deputies are out and they run into a family, they can come to our community engagement group as a resource to go and provide for that family as well.
I like that. That's good because you see, instead of that's something I've all CareBag wanted to do when is get with officers that when you see someone homeless, okay, well I've had a couple officers call me sometimes the ungodly hour in the night, but that's okay. Especially if they see a female, my phone rings, but that's okay. And instead, now they know how to have that communication. Now they know what to look for, and it makes a difference with the family. It really does. So kudos to you guys for doing that.
And we have business partners too that every year, Dyer Chevrolet. I have to say, Dyer Chevrolet every year.
Oh no, they're a big supporter of CareBag.
Them and D&D Garage Door, Children's Service Council this year. They've all supported our Shop with the Cop programs, and last year they were supported as well. And in fact, we have a waiting list of people who want to help support that program.
Wow, that is wonderful.
But the other really cool thing that we started doing last year was our deputies who are out working the streets during the Christmas holiday season. Our community engagement unit takes some of these resources, toys and so forth. The PAL, Sheriff's Office PAL, is doing a big toy run next weekend. They'll give toys to the Sheriff's Office to give to these Christmas families. So the community engagement unit will take all these resources and they'll pack them up in bags. So they're gender specific, male and female. And we try to have some age range bags. And so when deputies are out during those Christmas holidays, from that week before Christmas to leading up to Christmas, and they come across, kids in our community, they can give them these bags, and it helps build that relationship. And building the relationship between law enforcement and our community
is pivotal.
Reduces crime.
It's pivotal.
It reduces tensions. And I think that's one of the reasons that in St. Lucie County, when you see things going on nationally, we tend to work together much better. We tend to deal with those things that are really on a
grassroots level than we see other places.
Because we build those relationships in our community, and we want people to see our deputies and our employees for the people that they are. They're moms, dads, brothers, sisters, sons, daughters with families as well. They're just serving the community in a different capacity.
Definitely. Wow, I know everyone is. See, this is amazing. When you have, we always talk about this on the show, but it's so good because what's funny is we have had every law enforcement within our county here on the Treasure Coast except Vero, but Crime Stopper is represented, and everyone has said that. It is so important to engage with the community. It makes just things better. And, I think we're lucky here on the Treasure Coast that we have that community engagement. We have local businesses. That's something that we preach to the choir all day here. Local business. Yep. It's good to shop online everywhere, but local business is who I have to run to.
Yes.
I can't run to whoever online. I have to run to local, so we support local. So kudos to the local businesses. Dyer Chevrolet, we had Jonathan on, Tatiana Dyer and the family. They gave CareBag one of our trucks, our Chevrolet truck, to pull our trailer. So we're very, very happy. And it wasn't a pull teeth, pull leg. This is our problem. This is what we have. Roxy, we got you. Boom. Within less than an hour, that was decided.
They are one of the best community supporters that every year they just amaze me with the things that they do. And every year I watch them getting involved with other organizations.
Oh yes.
As well.
So many organizations, so many.
They're so willing to help.
And we have a great group of communities partners here, and that's something we're very thankful for to all of them. Is there anything we're missing? I see you got a list. I don't want to make you leave without going down. Make sure you got the list right.
No, I think, one of the things that I really didn't, I had a lot of stats for you, but I don't think this was the place for stats. I think we talked about the important things, but I think it's important to realize that the things that we're talking about, the things that our law enforcement agencies are doing here on the Treasure Coast, building that community, what's the one common theme that we can see as a result of that? And that's crime rates are going down.
Low and down.
Crime rates are going down across St. Lucie County continually for the last 20 years. They're down another 4.9% this year.
Well, we're happy for that. I'm very happy for that.
You see, it was a good move to make that a no smoking facility, because I know that prevents a lot of people from committing crimes.
You just have to put that one in there. Okay. Well, listen, if people know that, maybe they'll stay away. We've been asking all our law enforcement officers and deputies and chiefs that have been coming on for one safety tip over the holiday. What is one safety tip that you want to give to the community?
Well, during the holidays, and it's funny you mentioned that, because we're getting ready to launch our holiday safety tips, which will be PSAs that'll go out on our Facebook, and we send them to all the media outlets for them to run as well. And we actually take a lot of time in creating those. But, there's a couple of things that I tell you during the holidays. When you have packages delivered to your house, don't leave them on your porch.
Oh, no.
Have a neighbor pick them up, or have a camera on your home. But be very careful with that, because people taking your packages is a real thing.
Yeah.
The other things are, when you're out shopping, don't leave things in your cars, and don't leave your car unlocked, and don't leave if you do have a concealed weapons permit or anything like that, don't leave your guns in your cars, because people will break into your cars in the middle of a parking lot and take your items. Unfortunately, when no one's around and they take advantage of you, the best we can do at that point is come and take the report and hope that we can catch them. So, those are common safety things during the holiday season. And here's what I tell everybody: be patient. Be patient. Realize what this season's about. Care for each other. Be kind to your neighbors in your community. We live in this community together, and we can make it a better place if we just take time to care, love, and be kind for those around us, whether you know people or not.
Definitely. Definitely true. Definitely true. Well, you know what? That there was a good segue to end our conversation with Deputy Chief Hester. That was perfect. Thank you so much. Everyone's probably wondering, well, why is Roxy Rossiter? Deputy Hester does have a previous engagement, and we don't want to keep him from
wonderful that he came to be with us.
And he came to be with us, and we don't want him to rush, and we don't want to. But that's why I didn't do any care bag talking first. I wanted to get in and give him a time, because it's important for us to learn what's happening in our community. And we thank you so much for coming and sharing that with us, and we appreciate it. I'm gonna give you the mic. Couple seconds. Is there anything you'd like to say before you go?
No, just thank you on behalf of Sheriff Mascara, who really would have loved to be here as well.
I'll deal with him later.
You're going to have to handle him.
I'm going to have to deal with him later. Roxy's going to have to deal with him later.
But thank you. And
say it, Cliff.
Stay away from the rock.
Oh yeah, we're going to stay away from the rock. Only on a visit. Only on a visit asked. A axe visit. Would you like to come see?
All you got to do is call me.
Now we're going to take you. No, we're not going to do that. Well, Deputy Chief Hester, I have to always say Deputy Chief Hester, thank you so much for coming in. It has been a privilege to learn, get some resources, tell our community what's going on. I know they had a lot of information, and we do appreciate your time. And happy holidays when it comes, but something tells me I'll be talking to him before that.
Happy holidays to all of you guys.
We'll try that lunch one of these days or something like
Definitely. We're going to do it.
I'm
going to do it afterwards. But we are going to be right back after these few commercial messages from our sponsor, Treasure Coast Lexus. And we will be back in 60 seconds, 90 seconds, Cliff?
About a minute and 21 seconds.
Minute and 21 seconds. Stay tuned. Careology with Roxy and Cliff will be right back.
We're down to 18 days.
If you could reimagine the way you buy a car, what would you do? Make it simple, make negotiations disappear, demand transparency, then experience amazing at your Treasure Coast Lexus dealer. Car Buying Simplified. Treasure Coast Lexus is a proud sponsor of Careology. Every Tuesday at 6:05 p.m., caring and supporting for our community. Car Buying Simplified. Check out your Treasure Coast Lexus dealer. How would you like to win a Lexus UX200 with taxes paid? No car payment. That sounds terrific. Go to givecarebag.com all proceeds go to help our local nonprofit CareBag Incorporated, where they provide access to proper hygiene to those in our community in need. We also have 2 additional prizes. Go to givecarebag.com to find out how you could win a beautiful 2021 Lexus UX 200. No lease, taxes paid. Drawing December 17th, 2021.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
We're going to be coming back to Careology, of course, but we're going to let you know that at the end of the show, we're going to replay a little something you heard on the morning show this morning talking about the Highwayman auto tags. But right now, back to Careology with Roxy.
Hi, good evening, and welcome back to Careology. And thank you so much for tuning back in. If you're with us, can you guys hear me?
Oh, yeah.
You can hear me, Cliff?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I can't hear myself. That's why. I just want to make sure that I wasn't talking just to myself and thinking no one was hearing me. Well, thank you for tuning back into Careology. My name is Roxy, and we appreciate you guys coming in. That's it. So what I want to say is, for those who don't know, our mission is simple: to provide access and proper hygiene to the wellness of our community. That is CareBag's mission. And CareBag turns 5 years old on January 17th, and that is all we've been doing. We have 2 mobile shower units. As everyone know, I talked about it last week. We were down there in Deerfield Beach, and what we do, our unit goes out and helps our homeless and families in need, and we're very proud of that. We're hoping to have a unit in the Martin County area coming up. We hopefully will have some news to share with you in a couple of weeks on that. But our Careology is a weekly radio show that promotes the science of caring. We share knowledge and educate the community on resources that are available to and for them or to someone that they know. So this month ended our law enforcement month. And we just want to say thank you to all the law enforcement individuals that came out representing their department. We had Crime Stoppers giving us some good insight on what's going on. We had the Port St. Lucie Department. We had the Fort Pierce Police Department, and we ended this month with the Sheriff's Department. And we learned so much about the Rock, and we want to thank Deputy Chief Hester for coming out. And just knowing what's happening in our community is vital. When something is wrong, you hear a bump in the night, the first thing you do is dial 911, or you pick up a bat, or you try to run out, but you ended up calling 911. And it's important for us to know, to respect our men in blue, our fire department, and those that go out of their way to help us. And we really, really appreciate them, and you taking the time to spend time with us here on Careology. What we want to do is, tomorrow is January the 1st, Cliff.
Actually, December.
December. I said January. I'm ready for a new
We're
year.
all glad when the seasons are over.
I'm ready for a new year. Tomorrow begins December the 1st. That means that we have 16 days until our drawing for our 2021 Lexus UX 200. And we want to thank Treasure Coast Lexus, and we will be doing a live drawing. If someone wins the car, we meet our mark, then that's fine. Or we'll split our proceeds for this drawing. So we're really excited, and we're going to be doing it live through our CareBag page on our Facebook page. So that should be interesting.
Yeah, we need to urge everybody to go to givecarebag.com. That's the only way you can sign up to win the Lexus.
That is correct.
And we're just a little over 2 weeks away from the actual drawing.
I know, right? Imagine if someone here in our area could win. Because I look and I see people playing from all over the United States. Which is amazing, which is absolutely amazing.
Share this show with everybody, but you've got just a little over 2 weeks
16
left.
days.
16 days.
Well, today makes 17.
Okay.
Today's 17 days.
2 weeks and 3 days.
That's it.
Ooh.
And it's a beautiful car. So Treasure Coast Lexus right there off of Midway and US 1 is one of the prettiest buildings on that stretch. You can't miss it. Absolutely gorgeous. The people, the salespeople, the service techs, everyone from the minute you open the door and they say hello, beautiful company, beautiful representation of what we have in our community. And again, we want to say thank you. But for me today, I want to talk about today, November 30th, Cliff. Today's a very important day, and this is actually worldwide. Today is hashtag Giving Tuesday. It's Giving Tuesday. And Giving Tuesday is a global phenomenon where nonprofits, we all go ahead and we say, can you support us? Can you give back to us? And if we meet our quota, there's some individuals who will match whatever we make. I think if you make over 3,000, they will match. And we're trying to get there. So anyone can go to givecarebag.com, and it's Giving Tuesday up until 12 midnight tonight.
I'm glad they've developed that over the years.
They
That's
did.
great.
Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, a lot of wealthy individuals will go ahead and they'll match once it's done through PayPal. They will match what you have for nonprofits, genuine 501c nonprofits, which CareBag is. And this is a time we plead. This is our time where we go out and we say, support us. Any little thing you do, it makes such a great help to what we're doing. We're excited tomorrow. We have the Port St. Lucie Police Department. We are packing 100+ bags for school-age children that the guidance counselor has picked out in various schools here on the Treasure Coast. And we will be providing the family with bags so they can have something a little extra over the holidays. Some families can go out and, go out to the Black Friday, the Cyber Monday shops and have a good time. Some families just find it hard to meet day-to-day necessities, and that's what we're doing. We just want to make sure they have dignity is something that you shouldn't have to bargain for, you shouldn't have to buy for, you shouldn't have to be rich to get it. That dignity should be supplied to everyone, and we here at CareBag want to do that. So on Giving Tuesday, just for today, everything will be matched. You can go to givecarebag.com and you can make your donation, and we will be happy for that. And that makes, you'll be putting diapers on babies, pull-ups on toddlers going to school. Someone could have soap to take a bath. Young women would have what they need for their monthly cycle. Our elderly individuals will have the Depends they need so they can go out in the community, go to the park, go out to lunch. You'd be surprised what one thing could just make someone do. It makes a difference. So CareBag, we want to make that difference, but we can't make that difference without the community's help, and we want to thank you. I'm going to share, we had a young man that took a shower, and I remember when he came out the door, Cliff, he jumped so high, we thought he was going to fall. And I was like, be careful. And he said, I'm just so happy just to have a shower. We had another mom that says, you know what, just doing this, I can have diapers for my baby. I can have the personal stuff I need for myself. It makes a difference to our families. So we want to continue to do that. And through this season here of giving, we want you guys to think about CareBag. And we thank you for listening on our show, and we thank you for supporting us in all that we do. So it is Giving Tuesday, and you can go to givecarebag.com. You can support us in two ways, either Giving Tuesday, or you can go for the 2021 Lexus UX 200, which we will have the drawing for this month coming up, starting tomorrow on December 17th at 2 p.m. at Lexus. So you can come right down and you can see us. I hope you'll be able to come, Cliff.
We could watch
it
the
on
event
Facebook.
take
That's
place?
it.
Wow.
Yeah, we can watch it on Facebook, and we're going to go ahead and we'll talk about it. We'll have the video on and pick the winner.
We should get everybody to contact all of their friends about the shows on Facebook and YouTube. They can binge watch these shows.
Yes, they can.
And do it quickly. Share them with everybody, because we need to get a few more people to go over to givecarebag.com and get some more funds raised.
Well, thank you so much, Cliff. And this is the end of our show, and it has been a pleasure being with you for these minutes here at 6:05 on WPSL. And we want to thank Miss Carol and Mr. Greg and Cliff. And thank you, everyone listening. And bye-bye. I won't see you next week because CareBag's off next week.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
We'll have a best of or something.
We'll have a best of. There you go. See you guys.
All right. Take care.
And please listen to the next announcement. It is important.
Gertrude Walker and Larry Lee joined us on the morning show at WPSL this morning to talk about the Highwaymen and Treasure Coast Lexus, and that's what we're going to present to you right now.
There you go.
So
Thank
and
you.
much.
Have a good night.